Hello there everybody, it is me, XfreezerBunny, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're building another Parisian apartment. I didn't plan on making this into a full-on series at first, but ever since I did my previous build, I got a couple ideas for some really interesting Parisian apartments. Also, it's been a while since I've last done a regular series on the channel. I think it's been a year, so I decided why not just go for it. I've got one more build planned after this one. After that, we can move on to doing something else. I kind of just wanted to renovate this whole area of Windenburg because I thought that this place just looks so good with this classic Parisian style buildings. So that's what we're going to be doing in this little mini series. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys look forward to it. And yeah. Also, if you guys have been keeping track of the news recently on social media, it looks like Discover University is most likely coming out soon, so I don't really want to be too invested in a long series until that comes out. So yeah, one more thing, disclaimer. There's currently a lot of traffic outside, the trains passing by like as I'm talking to you right now, so hopefully you guys bear with it. Excuse all the traffic noise. As always, I will try to minimize as best as I can, so hopefully you can still enjoy this video. Anyway, back to the build. Today we're building this luxury Parisian apartment. It's got 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. One of those bedrooms is furnished for a butler, but the rest of the apartment is designed for a very wealthy single sim, or maybe a couple. Either way, it's still the same. Whoever lives here definitely lives a very glamorous lifestyle. They love to entertain. They probably go to a lot of red carpets, fashion shows, film festivals, etc. So in my mind, maybe a well-established designer who is based in Paris lives here. They'd probably have a chateau or 2 or 3 in the countryside, but this is definitely their main headquarters for like fashion week and stuff. Now, once again, we are building in this Haussmannian style. This one's more of a standalone structure where it's decorated on all sides. Unlike my previous builds, which were row houses, I didn't really try to recreate anything in particular. I just looked at some really luxurious buildings in Paris. I did see some similar looking hotels, I guess, but I didn't really base this off of anything in particular. I was also quite limited by this lot because it was 20 by 30. I couldn't really do anything more with it, so I just did my best here. But yeah, I think that's why it took me forever to build this exterior, because I think it took me like 3 hours because it was so detailed. Plus I had to decorate like all 4 sides of this building as well, so it took me quite a while. But yeah, overall for this build, I went for this very classic, very glamorous look with a hint of modern, which you'll see as we get into the interior. Also, there's a little bit of Art Deco and Art Nouveau in there as well. As you guys can see on this ground level, we have these windows that came with Get Famous, and also that little awning above the main entrance, which also came with Get Famous as well. Those windows remind me so much of like Art Deco windows you would see in, you know, turn of the century old buildings, I guess. But yeah, that awning actually looks very Art Nouveau to me. Not sure if you guys caught it, but this building also has a pediment as well, which has like 4 statues overlooking like the main sign, which I imagine would be the name of this building. And yeah, it's also the tallest one and definitely the most luxurious one out of all of my planned builds for this series. But yeah, what's different about this from my previous build is the fact that the main apartment is actually on the 3rd level. It's not on the roof itself, it's on the uppermost level underneath the roof. Now at first I got very indecisive with this build. As you guys can see, I changed a lot of like details and like even the colors of the paint outside. I tried to change it multiple times until I finally ended up deciding on this one. Also, at first I used that trim from Vampires, but I changed it because I felt like it was a little bit too exaggerated. As I was looking at the build, I noticed that it was looking a little bit kind of cartoony. When you're looking at it, it doesn't feel right because some of the proportions are so exaggerated because of those trims that I used. So I used the Get Famous trims instead, and I think that they had much better proportion, and I think they really made this exterior look a lot better. Now at first I went for something that was very symmetrical, but at this point I decided to incorporate a little bit of asymmetry also to give me some space to work with on the interior, because I did have a long list of things I wanted to include on this build. Also on the 2nd floor, as you guys can see, I'm changing the windows from those basic base game ones into those Strangerville ones that had the balconies incorporated into the windows, and I thought that that was a really good idea because the balconies on this build are only on the 3rd level, so I thought that having those windows with built-in balconies on the 2nd level also kind of like complemented that whole look. So here I am just making these you know, like balconies. I only put the vampire trim underneath the balconies so that they would look like they're actually supporting something. But once again, I'm using those balcony pieces. Well, they're not balcony pieces, actually they're fence pieces from Vampires. I'm using them on the balconies, and once again I'm using this technique which I did in the last build, which is basically open doors, because at the moment we don't really have the option to open doors and keep them open. So here I'm using an archway, and on either side I'm just putting in a regular door to make it look like it's open. So yes, over here we're also just kind of like decorating some of these you know, balconies that overlook the river, by the way, of Windenburg, and it's so picturesque. It looks so good. But it looks like now we are starting work on the interior. So basically the interior of this apartment is divided into 2, and connecting both of the wings is this hallway. Basically on one side we have kind of like the public entertainment area / living room area, and then on the other side is mainly the private area where we have all of the bedrooms and, you know, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of furnishing here. A lot of this is gonna change, by the way, so I did have to edit out a lot of the footage of me being indecisive here. Oh, one thing that one of you pointed out in my previous videos is that I should have used parquet, because it is French style builds. I should have used a parquet floor. I tried considering that, but I didn't really like any of the parquet floors, to be honest, in the game, so I ended up just going for some really sleek wooden planks, which I actually changed into a black color because I thought that that looked really chic. Most of the interior for this have a black and white color scheme with splashes of color. Now here I've already furnished the main dining area, which will change in just a little bit, because I decided to incorporate this open door technique on this balcony as well. I don't know why I didn't think of that at first, but yeah, I just decided to do that kind of last minute. But here I'm actually moving the living room on to where the main dining room used to be, so I'm basically exchanging places. And I know that's kind of a weird layout, because usually you would expect to go to the living room first and then go to the dining room, but in this case I felt like having that balcony open up to the living room was a lot better. I love this detail of putting in these candles on this fake fireplace. I really like that. I feel like that made it look very glamorous, but here you can see that a lot of the interior has modern and classic elements to it, which I did see in a lot of Parisian apartments, especially like luxurious Parisian apartments. That's definitely where I got the idea of incorporating that fuchsia rug, which I think really is just a standout feature. I'm really happy with how that looks. But as you guys can see, I also changed a little bit the layout of this room because I wanted to incorporate a bay window to accommodate the grand piano. So there I just put in kind of like a bar, well, kind of like a drinking area, I guess, using that globe drink container tray thing from vintage Glamour stuff. I also put in like a trolley with some wine glasses as well. Oh, I also changed the main sofa over here because I just like this sleek look of this one that came with Moschino stuff. Also, you guys probably just saw me put in kind of like some drop ceilings using those white shelves, and I really like it. Drop ceilings are a pretty basic architectural detail that adds, you know, more interest to a very basic flat ceiling. So since this was a very glamorous house, I really wanted to incorporate a lot of detail into it. But yeah, right now we're working on the kitchen. Once again, I'm keeping in this black and white color scheme. This one has quite a lot of wooden accents to it as well. At this point, I've done a little bit of the layout, but a lot of it will change. So yeah, I had to edit out a lot of the footage, but here I'm just putting in this baskets wall piece that came with laundry day, and I'm putting in some coffee bags over there, which I found on Debug. I've seen a lot of simmers use those. I really like the look of them. Whoever lives here obviously is addicted to coffee, so yeah. They also have impeccable style, if I do say so myself. Of course, it wouldn't be a French luxurious apartment if I didn't put a wine rack. So in place of a wine cellar, which this person probably has in one of their chateaus, I put like a wine rack in the kitchen, which I thought was a very good nod to the fact that this was a French themed build. So here I'm just putting in a little bar in the middle. I'm pretty sure that works because I've done this in many of my other builds before. But yeah, just to add in a little bit of a private dining / breakfast area. Oh, right now we're furnishing this main hallway / gallery. I wish I could have incorporated more artworks here, but I didn't really feel like it needed much, so I just put in like one big painting over there and also some chairs as well. Also, not sure if you guys caught it, but we are using an elevator for this build. So basically in The Sims 4, you're limited to only using one elevators. The elevator that I used is functional. I got it off of the gallery. I couldn't find elevators on the by debug category anymore for some reason, so that's weird. But basically the elevators only work when your Sims are spawning into the lot if they're coming in from another lot. So because of that, I had to put in some stairs as well. Yeah, I had to work in some stairs, which is kind of too bad because if I only got to use an elevator, that would have given me so much more space. But in the end, I'm really happy with how that kind of main lobby turned out. We will be seeing a little bit more of that a little bit later on as well. But right now we're furnishing this kind of veranda area. And as you guys might have seen in earlier, I actually extended this balcony to be a little bit bigger than how I initially had it, but I imagine that place would be really good for like lounging and relaxing. I did put a lounge chair in there. Also, I put a barbecue and also like a little sitting area, maybe for like, I don't know, afternoon tea or something like that. I thought that place would be really nice. Don't worry, we will be furnishing, or we will be decorating the other balcony in the bedroom, so you guys will be seeing me do that in detail after we furnish this bedroom. So for this master bedroom, I used a bed from Vintage Glamour stuff, and I put some studded chairs behind it as kind of like a headboard. I was very indecisive at first. I went for a black color scheme for those headboards because the black didn't show the glitching out, which we usually get if we, you know, put items one on top of each other. But I felt like I liked the white swatch a little bit better, so I went for that instead. I also really liked the layout of this room because we have this like desk in the middle, which I thought was a very interesting, you know, design choice because it kind of like divided the room. I really like it though. I think that desk looks really awesome and I really like it. I would definitely love to work in this kind of environment. Oh my gosh. Probably my favorite detail of this room. By the way, can I just say how much I love this room, but my favorite detail would probably have to be that statue, that black marble statue. I really like it. It gives this room a little bit of a, you know, like risque vibe, if you guys get what I mean, having like that black marble statue, but I thought that also gave this room a lot of personality. We also made a very interesting closet setup because, you know, I used some kitchen cabinets for the closet as well as that clothing rack from Moschino, and I thought that they looked really good. I thought that was a really good combination. But here I am decorating this balcony from the main bedroom, and I'm not sure if the sim can actually access this. There is space. I put like a chair in here, but I'm not sure if the sim can actually access it here because it does look very cramped. But I really like all of the plants that I put in here. I will be putting similar plants on the other balcony we have outside the main living room, but I didn't record that part because yeah, this build was just getting a little bit too long. So I'm really happy with that balcony. I'm really happy with that turned out. Most of the stuff I used is from Debug, but I did get to use quite a few items from the buy catalog as well. Now we're working on the master bathroom. This is the only bathroom that I'm going to be furnishing in this build. It's honestly a little bit basic. It's a little bit on the small side for something as luxurious as this apartment, but you know, it works. I'm really happy with the layout. It has a little bit of an Art Nouveau detail to it because of the wallpaper from Realm of Magic, and I also put that feather detail, that feather wall art that came with pets. I used the seagull for this one. I used another one for the other bathroom. I think I used the duck one for that. Also in the bathroom I had to take up a little bit of space because I needed some room for a laundry area. I did manage to fit a hamper in the kitchen, so I know that's a little bit weird to have a hamper in the kitchen, but I really didn't want to ruin the look of these bedrooms by putting in a hamper. But here we're just furnishing the guest bedroom, really quick furnishing, nothing too crazy. I didn't include the furnishing for the other bedroom, which is kind of like the servant's bedroom or like the staff assistant bedroom, whatever, because that one was also pretty basic as well. But yeah, for the guest bedroom, it was pretty luxurious once again. Like I said, the person who lives here probably enjoys throwing parties and that's probably where they would have some of their guests staying at. But now we're just working on the common areas for this build. So a lot of the elevator lobbies, the downstairs lobby, which is pretty grand. I use a lot of vintage glamour stuff for this one. And then yeah, I also put that like bouncer archway that's supposed to spawn a bouncer, but it didn't spawn a bouncer on when I was testing this, probably because this was a residential lot technically. But inside of that I put like some lockers, which in my mind are actually supposed to be like locker for like mailboxes for the residents here. Of course there is an actual mailbox that we will put in here outside later on, but here we're just decorating the outside, this main entrance, and putting in these topiaries. You can find these in debug. They're under the get together category, so yeah, I'm just putting in them over here in the main entrance, and I really like the look of them. They look very Parisian, if I do say so myself. And then I put that little kind of like waiting area, or like this bus stop, I would like to say. That's where I put the mailbox. But I think this build is actually pretty much done. All that's left to do is just do a little bit of lighting on the outside, and I gotta say, this build looks absolutely gorgeous at night. It is lit so much by all of these bright lights, which of course we have to have because Paris is known as the city of lights. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually wrap up my commentary right here. So if you enjoyed this video, please share and subscribe if you think I deserve it. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.